of Ngcingwane will be bidding its final goodbyes to their mother, whose passing has been a loss to the whole country. Mam Nomaka Epainette Mbeki paid her dues, and her popularity did not only come from being President Thabo Mbeki's mother or wife of late struggle icon Govan Mbeki. She was a revolutionist in her own right, the second woman to join the Communist Party of South Africa in 1937, and was also a founding member of the National African Federated Chamber of Commerce. Well, for more on the funeral and the mood ahead of this on this Friday, the day before, let's cross over to Dutwa now, where Ngcingwane is standing by just to give us a sense of what to expect. It's over to you, Zimkita.
Good morning and welcome to Dutwa in the Eastern Cape. Mam Mbeki has touched the lives of many people in and around Dutwa and in the Eastern Cape, in the country as well. I've had the opportunity to interact with her on a professional and on a personal level. On a professional level, I've done stories where when she celebrated her birthdays, I would go to her house, do an interview, check how she's doing health-wise. And on a personal level, I was doing a story about one of her projects, and they saw this nice traditional item which I liked so much, and they designed it for me. She's an inspiration to many women, and I'm not the only one who had the opportunity to interact with her. And with me now is a woman who wrote a book about her life and her humble journey. She's going to talk to us about what inspired her to put the book together and tell others in the country about Mam Mbeki's role in life. Just good morning, first of all, and tell me what inspired you.
Good morning, Zim. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I was covering a story from the union buildings. The president they were having the national orders, which they do annually. So when she was one of the recipients, so when I saw her biography, and I was like, wow, this is what I would like to do. I was touched by that she's still in the rural areas at the village and supporting the poor of the poorest. So it's then that the whole thing started. And as we started doing the coffee table book, hence we were able to get to have the title called A Humble Journey on Her Footprints, because I just saw this humility in her, this love in her. I mean, after what she had went through, I mean, I would be angry but she decided to love her community and work for her community.
I was even listening to speakers at the memorial service yesterday. They were saying exactly what you're saying about Mam Mbeki. And how was it like for you when you were covering, you getting your facts together to put this book together?
You know, it's very deep and very, some of the stuff is very private, but I just thought that let me just select what the public would actually make a difference to them. Mama is a humble human being, and what I have taken from her out of the project is she is a noble woman. You know, Proverbs 31, I actually say she is that noble woman. And from Proverbs 31 verse 20, it says she opens her arms, her hands to the poor, and she extends her arms to the needy. So that's what I've taken from her.
Okay. How is it important for people to get this book by Tobe Gazazi Ndabula, A Humble Journey on Her Footprints? How important is it for people to read this book so that they can know more about her?
There's a say that says, when you teach a woman, you teach a nation, right? So indeed, they need to get this book and get to know who is this woman, so that they can also be inspired and know that whatever that God has blessed them with, it is not for them, it's for the community, it's for the nation. So I would say women out there, specifically on women out there, get the book. You can get the book from us, which is $4.50, and just get to know her story, and then you'll be inspired and know your calling and know what is the talent that God has blessed you with that will do what she has done. And above all, this book was not going to be possible without Matata Tsedu. Matata Tsedu, when we approach Matata and say, Matata, this is what you're doing about Umama. And what God did for me was to connect me with the people who are actually passionate about the family. So now Matata is very passionate about the Mbekis, and I love the Mbekis so much. So indeed, it was not a difficult project to do. We had to work in one, we had one vision, and it went.
Thank you very much, Sis Tobeka, for your time. Well, here's the book. It's got pictures inside. If you don't want to start by reading, you can just browse through the pictures inside this book so that you can see Mam Mbeki's story. Well, yesterday, Chief Justice Mogoeng urged people who are still alive in South Africa to just take on some of the things that Mam Mbeki was passionate about and continue to develop this country. She's expected to be laid to rest tomorrow next to her daughter, who passed away in 2003 in a gravesite in Dujwa. Well, that's all we have time for here. It's now back to you in Johannesburg.